We mentioned this earlier. Republicans seem poised to pass their first major piece of legislation this year, possibly thanks to a big change of heart. Two big-name Republican senators, Marco Rubio and Bob Corker, announced today they'll change their no votes to yeses. It's still not a sure bet. Republicans can only afford to lose 2 votes. Senator Jeff Flake, the Arizona Republican who's broken with the president in the past, he hasn't committed. Susan Collins of Maine, on the other hand, put out a positive statement about this bill. Importantly here, Senators John McCain and Thad Corcoran have missed votes all this week because of their medical issues. It's not clear when either man will return to work. Democratic leaders are pushing back hard. Chuck Schumer telling Republicans they will, quote, rue the day they pass this. And Nancy Pelosi saying, quote, the GOP tax scams theft from the middle-class families to give to the wealthiest is a moral obscenity. Politico reports it all this way tonight, quote, the agreement caps a remarkable legislative stretch in Congress, facing the prospect of having no major policy achievements in the first year of a new administration. Republicans have pushed the plan through Congress with blinding speed, and in the face of both Trump's unpopularity and polling showing much of the public is sour on the proposal. Here with us to talk about it, Christina Bellantoni, Assistant Managing Editor of Politics at the LA Times, and Jonathan Allen, NBC News national political reporter. Welcome to you both. And Christina, it's the question of the hour. Are they going to have margin enough? Because worst case scenario for them is to lose 2 votes out for medical reasons.
Yeah, it really looks like they are going to have the votes. And it would be a victory for the Trump White House and for this Republican Party in the moment to be able to say they passed significant legislation after a year of really a lot of stumbles, particularly on their efforts to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act and several other major things that they've attempted to do. However, we don't know what's going to happen in the 2018 midterms. Democrats, as you read there, are very eager to use this as a weapon. And several Republicans are concerned that it will actually hurt them back home. Right here in California, we have a lot of competitive congressional races, and California is one of the states that will take a hit under this plan in certain parts of it.
So, Jonathan, eye shades are being put on all across this country right now as the initial reports get out of what's in this. And a lot of good people will spend the weekend pouring through it. I heard it said tonight that accountants may take years to discover fully what's in it and the workarounds. Having said that, what's the heads up to give folks tonight about what's in this bill?
Well, certainly accountants would like to be paid for years to determine what's going on here. Tax bills, new tax bills are always good for accountants. I think the headline here is you've got $1.5 trillion over 10 years in debt, and the way that's being apportioned is disproportionately toward the wealthiest Americans. If folks like that, they'll love this bill. What you've heard from all the Democrats and even some Republicans, Christina mentioned those close districts in California. Darrell Issa from her home state is somebody who came out against this bill. Lee Zeldin of New York said Republicans were being put in a position of having to choose to get something done or to get something done right. I think there's a lot of nervousness among Republicans about the potential backlash of a populist president, somebody who ran on populism, coming in and disproportionately favoring the wealthy with his tax cut. And at the same time, they appear to be more afraid of getting nothing done and showing that they can't govern.
And Christina, to your last point, energizing the Democrats may be a delayed reaction because this may not be an immediate and equal reaction to this bill. The stuff that Democrats would find fault in, criticize, point to damage it's done to certain sectors of society may take a while.
Sure, and people that file their taxes next April 15th are not going to see the effects of this until after those midterm elections when they file their taxes in 2019. So that's a big part of it. But of course, that's what people in the political industrial complex do, right? They're able to use those headlines that say, massive deficit or added to, or, harming California taxpayers. Those are the headlines you're going to see on ads against these Republicans. And look, the Republicans and groups that are in favor of this tax plan are also spending. There's ads on the air here in California that are having people call their lawmakers to urge them to vote for it, paid for by conservative groups that want to see this pass. So there's going to be a lot of effort on this on both sides. But, look, a tax cut is a tax cut. People do like that messaging. A lot of it is how it is sold. And that's something that people can argue, oh, it's this much of an average tax cut for the average person. And the Democrats are going to say, no, it's a giveaway to the wealthy. And then the voters are left to kind of figure it out. Of course, good journalists like all of us here are going to help people sort through that.